Hey guys, what's up? It's Cody. Thanks for tuning in for another video. Oh my god, this hair is just a lost cause. I should just make the video looking like this. Yeah, God, it's not gonna happen today. Anyways, so I've been wanting to make a really personal video for a while, and I don't know why I feel the need to share this story about how I lost my virginity, but I do. I've been wanting to share this story for a while, and it's the perfect time now because I am in New Orleans, Louisiana for the weekend, and this is where the guy I lost my virginity to currently lives. And I mean, I won't lie, I hit him up for a little bit of like, hey, what's up? We should meet up, like, see what happens. I'm pretty sure that he is in a relationship, and I'm pretty sure that hasn't stopped him before. So, yeah. He lives in New Orleans. I was actually just in Pensacola not too long ago, and we both lived in Pensacola when we met, and he was supposed to see me and kind of blew me off. So he's in New Orleans and I'm in New Orleans, and I kind of expect him to blow me off again. But hey, who knows? It will have been 15 years almost that I've seen him. So I'm just going to get into the story. He's a really sweet guy. I'm really happy that we're still friends, but the circumstances of the nature of our meeting it was very, very inappropriate. About in 2000, I'm going to say it was 2006. May have been, yeah, we're going to say it was in 2006. I met this guy on MySpace, and he lived in my town. And it was really hard to meet people back then. I mean, there weren't a lot of gay people at my school. None of us were really friends. And it wasn't like we couldn't, there's all weird, there was weird mitigating circumstances for like all of the gay people at my school, which there's only like a handful, whether you just like weren't interested in them, or they were like seeing someone else, or there was like friend circles, and I don't know, it was just weird. Never dated anyone at my school. I did, however, date a guy who went to a different school, and he was a little bit older than I was, and he lived about an hour away. That was my first boyfriend. Somewhere in the mix, I meet this guy on MySpace who actually lives about 2 miles away from me. And the thing the setup was, he lived on one side of my high school, which was like over here, and he lived like the neighborhood beside my high school, and then there was like my high school, and then there was like a freeway, not a freeway, excuse me, a highway, and then there was my neighborhood. So it was all about 2 miles. It couldn't have been too far, maybe 3. And actually in front of the high school there was a police department. So all of this will come into effect later, like why I'm mentioning it at all. Anyways, so we met on MySpace, and at the time, this was after my mom found out I was gay. My mom was not letting me hang out with absolutely any guys. I wasn't allowed to hang out with any friends. I wasn't allowed to wear pink. I wasn't allowed to do anything that looked like it could be gay. So I definitely wasn't allowed to hang around with my boyfriend, who she thought he was my boyfriend, even though we hadn't admitted to it. And I definitely know she wouldn't be okay with me hanging out with this guy at dark. So what I used to do is I used to sneak my boyfriend into my house. And I actually never got caught for doing that. And I also never got caught for sneaking out of my house. So when this guy that I started seeing who took my virginity, since he lived so close, he would come and pick me up. I would sneak out and he would come pick me up. And then we would drive back to his house and we would fool around in his parents' camper that they had. Now, they had like a camper set up in like his driveway. His like grandparents or his like aunts or something was like living in it, and they would go out of town or go do things, and then we would come and mess around in the camper. Now, I don't think that we actually I don't think that he actually took my virginity the first time that we hung out, but I do know that when he took my virginity, we couldn't go to the camper that night, and I don't know why it was the night, but we decided it was the night, and we had sex in his car, his Cavalier. I'm 99% sure it was like a 2004 Cavalier, and it was in the high school soccer field parking lot. Now that was a bad idea. I do not know what the fuck we were thinking to do that. Okay, so whoa, what was I thinking? Hindsight, Cody, hindsight. So, anyways, I'm still shocked that I did that. I cannot believe he did that. Mind you, I'm 14 years old. I was about to be 15, but I was 14 years old, and he was 24. Okay, now, I know there wasn't a lot of options in the area, but he probably shouldn't have been hooking up with a 14-year-old. And me, I didn't give a fuck. I mean, I did that kind of stuff all the time. I was sneaking out with all kinds of guys all the time, even though I hadn't, lost my virginity. I didn't care if they were older. I never really went for younger guys. I went for what I could get, though, what the options were, the best of the options. He was a pretty damn good-looking option, and he hit all the check marks as far as what I liked. And I don't think that he was seeking me out because I was younger, because I did lie to him about my age, and I told him that I was 18. Now, I also did eventually tell him, 2 times later, that I wasn't 18, and that I don't even know if I told him right away that I was 15 or 14 or 15 at that point, or if I had told him I'm 17, I'm almost 18, or what I did. But I do know that he found out eventually, and I do know that we kept doing it. So yeah, I lost my virginity to someone 10 years older than me. I thought about this when I was older, thinking damn, is it like when I turned 24, I was like, oh my god, I couldn't imagine sleeping with a 14-year-old. And even still to this day, I say it like I'm proud, but I've never had sex with a minor. I've never had sex with anyone under the age of 18, and I rarely have sex with 18-year-olds. So, yeah, let me just tell you a little bit about the story in the Cavalier. So we're in the parking lot of my high school. What am I thinking? My best reasoning later, thinking about it now, is that maybe since other cars would be in the parking lot, kind of broke down. It's a high school parking lot. Some cars are just kind of sitting there, not a lot, but sitting there vacant. That it didn't look as obvious as if we were on the side of a street that we didn't belong on, or we couldn't do it in my drive. The other options. So. I remember that he climbed on top of me, and I had the best 10 seconds of my life. Right? 10 seconds. Literally, I remember being proud that I was I did good. I was I think I did pretty good. I mean, mind you, I always, part of the reason why I did porn is because, I always knew what I was doing when it comes to sex. There was never, that. With girls, I didn't know what I was doing. I was oh my god, I don't want to learn this stuff. I felt like I was doing it wrong. I didn't really... That was a completely different story. With guys, I knew exactly what I was doing. I was on that. I did was confident in myself. I did good. Everyone seemed, they seemed pleased every time. But the funny thing is like, I didn't think I was the shit, but I thought I was like, oh, I mean, I nailed that. I did good. Like, you know, he seemed like he loved it. I loved it. And now looking back, if I would experience that now, I'd be probably embarrassed of myself. So, anyways, and then, yeah, we didn't get caught, which fucking thank God we did not get caught, because the cops, remind you, it is across the street from the police department. The cops would have came to the cars. If it would have been happening, they would have busted us. They would have found out I was a minor. They would have busted me for sneaking out. My mom would have found out that I was having sex with a guy who was that much older than me. She may have pressed charges. His whole life could be different than what it is. Our whole life could be different than what it is. But instead, we went to a Carrie Underwood concert the next week. So that is the story about me losing my virginity. I'd say it's a good one. It's memorable. Share your crazy stories if you have one. I am hoping that I get to see him. I'll post an update in the future if I get to see him this weekend. If anything happens, look on my OnlyFans. I'm just kidding, y'all. Hope you have a great holiday and a great week. You might not get a YouTube video from me next week because I will be on a cruise. Okay, love you all. Cache out.